Did you know that Deku was originally supposed to be an adult, and also he has the third most number of quirks in My Hero Academia universe? Deku is more than simply All Might's pupil, Katsuki Bakugo's opponent, Ochako Uraraka's lover, or Tomura's one-day worst enemy. We'll explore several facts you may not have known about the strongest hero of My Hero Academia, probably the greatest but most peaceful hero of all time. Deku was originally meant to be an adult, and the whole school system of My Hero Academia was an afterthought. Horikoshi, the author of My Hero Academia, thought afterwards that a tale set in the environment would be a lot more fascinating than the substance of the original one-shot the manga was based on. Deku also had swoopy emo hair earlier, since manga enjoys doing stuff like that. Have you observed that Deku's place in popularity polls has dropped over time? When the anime first began, Deku was the most popular character in the anime. As time has gone on, though, the ranks have typically shifted. Deku has slid to third place in the most recent polls. This isn't necessarily because Deku isn't a great shounen protagonist, but because the show has so many complex and intriguing characters. Do you know that Deku's real name is full of puns, which truly describe his full narrative? Izuku Midoriya's full name means beautiful valley, or one time to continue on, in Japanese. The name comprises the characters for green and valley, indicating his beauty. His full name reveals his difficulty and says that his path is to overcome it. He also possesses the character Izu, which indicates something close to time to continue. This gets lost in English when translated into another language. Did you know that Deku went to extreme measures to hide his quirk? When he enrolled for school, his official documents only listed him as superpower, so as not to attract attention to the fact that he had the power. While this sounds like a nice idea, don't you guys think that simply not listing it like that is a bit suspicious? This fact can be a little surprising, yet it's real. Did you know that Deku was supposed to stay quirkless? Early on in the writing of My Hero Academia, Deku was planned to be quirkless. While this may not make sense in the context of the show, as roughly 80% of individuals have quirks, we see that this notion was still carried for a short while since Deku began without a quirk, and then after that he was given possibly one of the greatest quirks overall, known as One for All. Luckily for Deku, All Might noticed his good heart and his potential as a hero, and determined he was worthy. We all know that Izuku Midoriya's nickname doesn't have the nicest origins. Izuku Midoriya wasn't always Deku, but once he was, he carried the nickname with pride. Originally, the name Deku was a direct insult to him because he didn't have a quirk. It was initially given to him by Bakugo, who would nickname him Deku to liken him to a wooden training puppet, meaning that's all Deku was good for, beating up on. Eventually, however, he was able to obtain some clarity from Ochako Uraraka, who consoled him and said that the name reminded her of Dekiru, which means to be able to accomplish, and he found strength in the name. Now, allow me to give you guys some fascinating facts. Did you guys know that Izuku Midoriya shares his birth date with any other anime character? Wanna guess who he is? He is Ichigo from the Bleach anime. He is another protagonist from a popular shonen manga and the main character of Bleach. In the same manner that Deku previously didn't have a quirk, Ichigo wasn't initially anything exceptional, basically simply being a high schooler. Over time, he matured into a great Hollow Slayer. Deku became an incredible legend of pro hero later as well. It makes logical sense that Deku has this birthday, even if this birthday may have been an accident, but we like to imagine that Horikoshi did this on purpose. Do you folks realize that Izuku has never been placed first? Maybe there's a purpose behind this. Fans observe time and time again in the series that Deku doesn't always perform the best in school. His ratings for how well he understood his quirk were exceedingly low, and there are still 5 sections of it that haven't been presented to the public yet. While it may at first appear weird that Deku hasn't placed first in anything despite being in the top 4 in his grade, there might very well be a wonderful explanation for this. In the same manner that Deku's quirkiness is concealed in the papers, he too presumably tried his best not to stand out. Have you guys ever wondered what Izuku's favorite food is? If you did, then the answer is that his favorite food is katsudon. As much time as we've spent with Deku, we don't know much about him from a personal aspect. We see his battles, his interactions with his classmates, and his interactions with fully grown heroes as he interacts with the pros. But little did we know that it's canon that his favorite food is a noodle soup dish known as katsudon, made with a bed of rice, pork cutlets, eggs, and lots of other condiments that make for a really good dish that's immensely popular in Japanese cuisine. Did you guys realize that before My Hero Academia, Izuku Midoriya had appeared earlier in a one-shot comic? Jack Midoriya, a cheerful retail salesperson who specializes in hero memorabilia, looks forward to the pipe dream in his brain that maybe soon he'll be able to be a hero just like his heroes. 2008, in the winter issue of Akamaru Jump, a modest one-shot comic that would one day rise to the magnitude of My Hero Academia. Jack becomes Deku, and now he's an exceptionally promising young guy, still dreaming of being a hero. After years and years of work, the climax of his goals come true, and he thinks over his prior training to become who he is. There's the program fans all know and love. Let me tell you a stunning secret now. Do you think that Izuku's childhood was inspired by Horikoshi's? Deku and his mother had a moment together when they were younger, where Deku's mother cries, "Help me," and Deku responds, "I'm here." Horikoshi noted in an interview, "While I was younger, I tried performing the relevant activities with my mother when playing in the park. It was dubbed from the King of the Jungle by us. My mother would walk into the backyard jungle gym and beg, 'Please rescue me, Leo,' which I used to name myself when we used to play this game together." He wanted to include it in the tale, as many people recall pretending to be Leo and playing with my mother at the playground. This was really kind of Horikoshi since the situation was so lovely. How about a fact that will satisfy so many My Hero Academia fans? Though Izuku looks to have been raised by a single mother, he really does have a father. He is simply working overseas. Other than that and the fact that he possesses a quirk called Fire Breath, nothing is known about Hisashi Midoriya, but fans of the series won't stay in the dark forever. Horikoshi has stated that at some time Izuku's father would come. When and how this will happen is still an outstanding issue. These were some of the facts about Izuku Midoriya from My Hero Academia, but wait, I think you guys are not satisfied. How about some bonus facts? We all know that Izuku has improved so much since middle school, and his character development is also amazing. Though he struggled to get accepted in the first place, Izuku is doing very well in school. In middle school, he could run the 50-meter sprint in 7.49 seconds. In high school, his record was 7.02 seconds. When it comes to grip strength, he improved from 40 kilograms to 56 kilograms. The largest improvement is in his softball throwing record. Before gaining his quirk, he could throw it 46 meters, but subsequently he could make it 705.3 meters. Did you know that the first costume of Izuku wasn't expensive? Or we may say that it was cheap. Izuku's initial hero suit cost $370.53. While it may sound like a lot, it's really very inexpensive for a professional tailored uniform that intended to be carried into war. His following outfits would escalate in expense and would be created by the same individual who designed Todoroki's costumes. Have you noticed that in the anime, the child voice actor of Izuku has also played other My Hero Academia characters? During the few moments that Izuku appears as a child, he's portrayed by voice actor Akeno Watanabe. Watanabe also portrays two more characters in the Japanese version of the series, Kyokajiro's mother Mika and UA teacher and pro hero Midnight. Not just Ichigo, but did you know that Izuka shares his birth date also with Mirio? Birthdays aren't typically the most intriguing aspect of a character, but this one is worth mentioning. Izuku really shares his birth date with another character, Mirio Togata. Both of them were born on July 15th. They are both Cancers. This information is for Marvel lovers as well as My Hero Academia enthusiasts. Did you know that Izuku was used to advertise Avengers Infinity War? In order to promote Avengers Infinity War in Japan, Marvel teamed up with My Hero Academia to develop both a poster and an entertaining film in which Izuku discusses Captain America while hinting at certain parallels between himself and the Western hero. Both of them started off weak and faced bullying and other challenges, but worked hard and pushed themselves for the purpose of defending others. So with this last fact, I have told you the most interesting, awesome, and probably the most fascinating facts about Izuku Midoriya. Let me know in the comments if you like these facts so that I can make more videos about your favorite character.